So, hallo, ja, es geht mal weiter mit einer Folge Star Trek Resurgence. Ja, ist schon eine Weile jetzt her, aber ja, ich wollte das auf jeden Fall noch fortführen und auch beenden. Deswegen geht es jetzt auch nach längerer Unterbrechung dann doch nochmal weiter.
That's everything. We got some answers.
So, und sind schon gleich mal
If we can learn
mittendrin.
nothing else, then what's left is to make these Takan talk. And if they don't, we'll dispose of them.
Hey, that's not how we do this.
That is enough from you.
Jetzt musste ich aber schnell mal reagieren.
I thought that thing was useless.
It was. No power. Until he touched it. Weapons must be biocoded.
Our technology will only work for one of our kind.
I can assure you, this weapon works just fine for me.
Slow down, Arminta.
You can't control the ship with a disruptor.
But I can use it to control you.
Tja, na gucken wir mal, wie es weitergeht. Ja, ich wollte noch sagen, es wird auf jeden Fall dann auch wahrscheinlich noch mit den anderen Videos weitergehen. Das heißt, ich werde auch noch ein bisschen Star Trek Legends spielen.
Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack. Making this so much worse than it already was.
Given the potential consequences, we should notify Starfleet as soon as possible.
I don't disagree, but I'll reach out to Ambassador Spock about it. I don't want to cause a panic. I doubt he does either.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through. Captain Riker, this is
So,
my first
Riker, sehr schön.
My pleasure.
Sir,
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have.
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Rositius 6.
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
And let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, this old chestnut. I am curious to hear what she says, though.
Ultimately, my responsibility is to the crew at large.
The needs of the many. You have been hanging around Ambassador Spock. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers. And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive. Or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should...
Ja, ja.
When you were with them,
So sieht's also
you encountered a
aus.
Takan
Es
entity
gibt
known
keine
as
richtige Antwort.
463. The
Na, mal
Enterprise
gucken.
was
So,
attacked
wie wir
before
hier
it
weitermachen
was
jetzt.
go.
Bin echt
All of which
gespannt.
is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you. But don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
Are you sure about that? I don't want to anger him.
No, you certainly do not. With a wave of his hand, he could clip your wings and cripple the Resolute. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You ought to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there. But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research, battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the Borg.
Trust me. This isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
There are some things you can't be prepared for. And if there are no specific tactical solutions, we'll just have to take our chances. After all, risk is our business.
We try to mitigate that risk as best we can. But the Starfleet we know today was built on that attitude.
Well said.
There was a special task force that considered the Takan, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Anything else?
Thank you for your support, Captain Riker.
I wish I could be there myself. But my first officer would probably see to it that I stay on the bridge while they get all the excitement on the away mission. The burdens of command. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Takan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious. Which is why I'm asking.
Ach, ich sag's jetzt einfach. Da wird er bestimmt sauer sein, aber egal.
One thing we know is that they stole Starfleet shield algorithms.
The shield algorithms? That could jeopardize every ship in the fleet.
We're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
This is as real as it gets, Solana. I have to talk to Starfleet Command now, so I think this conversation has come to an end. I really do hope you get Portal 6-3 and find those Takan before this gets out of control. Riker out.
I specifically said I wanted to keep this under wraps. I thought we had an understanding. Now all of Starfleet will hear about this.
I'm sorry, Captain, but I didn't feel comfortable lying to a superior officer.
I have no problem telling Starfleet. I just didn't want Riker holding this over me. Now I have to think about the damage control of it all. You're dismissed.
So, geht's jetzt endlich mal los. Genug gequatscht hier. Jetzt sind wir angekommen. Restricted Space.
Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
Na dann.
That was unpleasant. Commander Irmont, what are the conditions of our system?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Takan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you? Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. If he's not an asset, he's an enemy. So be ready for anything.
Na, gucken wir mal auf dem Planeten, was da so vor sich geht. Ich bin gespannt. Ah, jetzt sind wir erstmal wieder hier auf dem anderen Schiff. Ich hoffe, wir kommen dann wieder hier zurück, so langsam.
You're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
I cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago. But a new age dawns today.
Are you trying to get yourself killed?
I already died once. All of us who swore ourselves to the cause did. My name is Zon Glossa. I was born in the final days of the Age of Makto. Each of us took a leap of faith to cross the bridge of time and be reborn here.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartapia that produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Aphelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion.
Only then will you understand the might of the Takan Empire. Reborn in this time.
And when you wake the
Was ist die Aphelion?
what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
Oh, oh.
It's coming alive.
You can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
The moment I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will know. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
But wouldn't you want that? You take the ship off course, your friends come here to your rescue. So why are you warning us?
Because I value my own life. When my fellow Scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and abandon
Das ist irgendwie seltsam.
We've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We hurt him, he'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
Ach,
I get the
komm
impression
schon.
you know how to make people talk.
Was soll's?
Think you can
Arm
break this off?
brechen.
Don't.
Ouch. Oh
What the hell,
je.
Bruner? We don't torture people. Did you forget what uniform you're wearing? What it stands for? This isn't like you.
He'll live. Isn't that what you want?
Don't you twist my words like that.
I have only just begun.
Stop, please! Wait! The warp cores. Our technology is amplifying the ship's output, and it still relies on the warp cores to provide plasma to the engines. Disable those, and the ship grinds to a halt.
Sabotage.
This displays for all life forms on the ship. This is where the infiltrators are, the central artery of ship systems, sensors, propulsion, weapons. And this is engineering.
It's deserted.
If I can get us there, can you cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask, but I'm coming around to it.
You just worry about getting us there. I'll handle the rest.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all. I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I'd almost hoped you'd made it off. And Lily's there with you too, right? It's good you two are together.
Hast du mich vermisst?
Miranda might
Mal
help.
schauen.
She was so hopeful about you. But that's not why I called. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. The Takan Empire has so much to offer you. Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery. And a part of you would remain to experience the things
Lass uns dir helfen. Ne? Mal gucken, was sie da draus machen.
I know what you're doing. Miranda, we can help you, but you have to fight.
Miranda is a part of us now. She's accepted that.
You're lying.
I have no reason to lie. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
But you think there's some sort of compromise to be had here? After all you've done? The only end of this is when you surrender.
After all we've done, you can't think we give up now. We can continue this conversation in person.
Oh,
I'll see you
oh.
on the bridge very soon.
Our comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you.
Schnell entfernen. Ah, vielleicht hätten die letzten Worte was gebracht.
Got it.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something. They know where we're going.
Set to stun. You're not
Okay.
going to shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
You already broke his arm. What more do you want to do?
I want to eliminate loose ends.
And I did that for you.
So, wir sind auf derselben
Get
Seite.
you on the
Es
same
kommt.
side. Come on. Now let's move it.
So, okay, dann würde ich sagen, geht's hier das nächste Mal weiter. Und zwar unten auf dem Planeten. Geht es dann weiter, um mit dem Tekon da, den Tekon ausfindig zu machen und mit ihm zu quatschen. Mal schauen, wie es weitergeht. Ja, das war's dann erstmal wieder. Es bleibt weiterhin interessant, wie es ausgeht, wie die Bedrohung eliminiert wird. Das, ja, keine Ahnung, mal schauen. Ja, dann danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zur nächsten Folge dann. Tschüss.